No left, no right, hail the KaiserReich. Wise words from our friend Dennis Konstantinovich, guys, one of our actual users on the channel. And we are continuing here for Hearts of Iron 4 as the Great German Reich, in this point with Wilhelm II. So last episode we were actually a bit concerned about basically what the Reds are going to do. And we did get some responses in terms of speed. It looks like you guys kind of like it in the middle, which I don't mind at all. I might upgrade, etc. So here we go, guys. Due to his popular policies, one of our loyal ministers has managed to strengthen our ideology. Now, we could go ahead and increase the authoritarian Democratic Party, but we already have a lot of power. I'm going to say we don't need this. We don't want to lose political power right now. And that's interesting, but as I said before, we really are not in any danger of losing, and we don't have elections anyway. Of course, if the Reds take over or something like that, we have somewhat more problems. But if we take a look here at the parties of our country, the next closest party is the Zentrum Party, which are social conservatives as well. Well, essentially, we're authoritarian Democrats. I would think that's a fairly conservative ideology. So we're going to go ahead here, and we're just basically waiting to keep building our economy. Of course, we've always got that threat of the red threat from France, obviously, and from England, and we're trying to create a sort of partnership with Ireland to eventually, maybe not, go ahead and join them. Now, one really interesting thing about this mod that somebody pointed out is that what essentially happens is the British party, the British royal family, ran away from England, and now they reside in Canada. Of course, we've got King Edward VIII is king. Looks like the Reds didn't manage to kill him, but I'm sure that they tried, not for want of trying, I should say. So we are, of course, here training some of our soldiers, and really the main reason I'm doing that is just to boost up our military points, our army experience, I should say, so we can start adding stuff to this army. And I do hope that the Austrians don't have any intentions of attacking us, but I really don't think that they do. I could be wrong, of course, but we'll have to see. Right now, we're just essentially waiting on the border here for something to pop off, trying to build up our economy, trying to build up our supply, our factories, etc. And it looks like this keeps increasing our manpower, which is great. So a month before elections, yet another scandal was revealed by the media. Die Gartenlob, newspaper owned by Alfred Hugenberg, reported that two daughters of Freiherr Kurt von Hammerstein-Eckord, general and friend of influential Reichsminister von Scheer, were involved in the shady dealings with syndicalist intelligence. Wow. Shortly after, Reichstag member Franz Schelt fanned the flames by asking why the Abwehr, run by von Schelter's friend Ferdinand von Bredow, didn't find out that the family of the war minister's associate was infiltrated by hostile intelligence. While General von Hammerstein-Eckord resigned and publicly apologized for his daughter's doings, the real question for von Scherer was, should he pull the strings to replace von Bredow and remove any further threats to his political career from that direction? And if yes, by whom? Oh my goodness. Well, over here, we could, of course, remove all intel minister ideas from German Empire. I don't really know if I want to do that. Does somebody have Nikolai's number? Walter Nikolai, and he is an authoritarian Democrat, so he is of our party. We could also move in the paternal autocrats, which I'm assuming would be totally in favor of just a Kaiser alone. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the paternal autocrats. We're going to lose some political power, but really not that much, and it might not have been the greatest decision in the world. But again, the biggest threat that we face right now is the threat of communism. Of course, it looks like our economy is doing okay, especially since the last time we checked. We can also drop a few civilian factories around here. And I'm going to put one in Mosland, and I'm also going to put one over here in Brandenburg, of course, trying to make the center of our country as strong as possible. We could also put some synthetic refineries, but I really don't have much experience in using these refineries. I'm going to drop one in Hessen. I'm not even sure if it's going to be a good idea. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. But we are continuing. And like I said, one thing that Andreas Windham mentioned, and I really do appreciate his, although he's quite critical, I do appreciate his feedback on the channel, is that we really are not in a position where we need to start new wars. I mean, we got plenty of land over here. If we take a look at China, we actually own eastern China, which is amazing. And here we go. Now, this is interesting. Today, the German people will elect their representative to the Reichstag. Tightly fought, this election might be the turning point of the KaiserReich. So we could either put the Social Democrats in power, we could put the centrists in power, Zentrumspartei, and we could also put the DKP in power. That's the current ruling party, the DKP, the Authoritarian Democrats. And what about the coalition? of the AV and the DKP, the paternal autocrats and the DKP. This is a tough decision, and really, I don't know nearly enough about the actual history of this mod to know which is a better idea. I think that a coalition of all parties is going to go ahead and work together, organize the youth. Some experts have suggested that the best solution against the current lawlessness displayed by parts of our nation's youth is to organize them into youth organizations. Oh yeah, this is going down a similar path. I'm sure many of you guys know exactly what path this is going down, but I think we are definitely going to provide the funding. It's also going to increase our political power and probably develop some interesting bonuses for us. So as I mentioned before, if we take a look here, and I actually took one of my users to point this out, this is a corporation owned by us, essentially. And we also own, specifically over here, we own Vietnam, which is quite interesting. I do have divisions here, but I'm not in the mood to be attacking anyone, really. It doesn't look like interesting. Now, why are the British here when this is owned by the Yunnan clique? Perhaps... No, I don't think so. I was going to say perhaps they are... Oh, I see what's happening. This could just be a mod issue, because as we zoom out, it's looking like the Yunnan clique over here. But we do own a nice part of Vietnam, which is really nice. We also own that eastern part of China. We're not in a position to have to go to war with anybody, really. That being said, I kind of want to go ahead and attack Poland, just because I've got that war itch that I'm sure a lot of you guys have. Following the victory of the DKP, Zentrum, and NLP coalition to the last election, the Kaiser must now choose one. Nope, no K there, get rid of it. Must now choose who he will appoint as Reichskanzler. So von Schlerer would be the authoritarian Democrats, which is the party currently in power, or war hero and NLP leader Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck. That is quite interesting. Now this is going to probably improve the respect for the market liberals, or we could of course get the Zentrum Heinrich Brüning. And this would be a social conservative party, and I think that's exactly who we're going to go for. So we're going to go for the Zentrum centrist party. Well, more social conservatives, but I'm fairly sure that Zentrum means center in German. I could be wrong. So we are going for a bit of a different political approach. But as you can see here, the DKP has actually gained popularity, and I don't see that really changing. They seem to be a decent party in terms of keeping the economy in the country at a fairly regulated level, and I think that that's going to be just fine. We don't necessarily need market liberal ideas, but at the same time, it's something we could consider later on down the road. Let me pause here, guys, because we do need to go and choose a new focus, and we can finally take the aftermath of Black Monday. Now, this is interesting. The Great Crash of 1936, known as Black Monday, has had a massive effect on German politics, culture, and society. While the damage might never be fixed, we should enact reforms and recovery policies to regain some of our lost capacity. And I'm absolutely going to focus on that. So we're just going to try to, like I said, continue to improve our actual economy, continue to improve our nation's structure in general. But right now, I do believe we're in quite a strong position. To be absolutely honest with you. I mean, just look at that 130, that Navy of 130. If we have any issues whatsoever with a war with somebody, we're going to be using that Navy big time. Of course, having the British and the French right on our doorstep is not going to make things any easier. Yes, we got mechanical engineering. And honestly, guys, I should have been focusing on that before, because not only can we increase reinforcement rate with radio, but we can also increase our research time, or I should say decrease our research time, by focusing here on mechanical engineering. So we're definitely going to do that. Let's take a look here and see if any of these divisions are ready to drop, and they certainly are. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy some units. Deploy some units. Deploy some units. And ultimately, we will build another army out of these guys. For now, I'm just hanging out here. They can have some fun, and I'm actually going to put them all north of Frankfurt. Don't let me forget this. And eventually, we will put these units together. I'm definitely going to start training these guys. But before I do, I want to get enough men to form another army. So let's take a look here at the French. It looks like they've got a new leader. Belgrade Congress argues for a new order in the Balkans. Okay, the Serbians have convened the Belgrade... the Belgrade. What the hell is wrong with you, Agrippa? The Belgrade Congress. Is it Belgrade or Belgrade? My Serb friends will probably help me with this. Which is clearly aimed at destroying the balance in the Balkans. The Bulgarian king has sent a diplomat to seek our help. How should we respond? Well, we could give continued support for Bulgaria, which we, of course, are essentially trying to... well, I believe they're one of our friends. In fact, we'll take a quick look here. To take a look. Yes. Definitely one of our friends. Although the Belgrade Pact looks like to be a separate faction. of sorts. And actually, the Tsardom of Bulgaria is not part of our large Mittel Europa faction. So I'm thinking that maybe we don't get involved. And we're going to lose a lot of political power if we do so. I'm going to say we're not going to get involved. We're going to increase our national unity. We are focused on the future of Deutschland. We're not focused on the future of the rest of Europe. Unless, of course, they are direct allies, in which case it's a totally different story. Okay, let's pop back over here. And apparently we've got something we can do over here. Now I could start focusing. We've got our Panzer Group and a field hospital. Very awesome. What's this? Outdated equipment in production. Oh, the Panzer Kampfwagen is not good enough. So we're going to go ahead and replace this Panzer Kampfwagen with the Grosstraktor, which seems to be a lot better. And we are going to have to create a heavy tank template. But like I said, before we do that, we really need that military experience. So let me go ahead, select some new technology to research. I'm going to keep focusing on these tanks if I can. Getting the Tiger is going to take forever. But maybe we can focus on some planes, get some BF-110s. And, of course, we can focus on industry, or more specifically engineering. I wouldn't mind going for the radio to get that reinforcement rate up, but I also wouldn't mind focusing on concentrating our industry as much as possible. So, what do we do? What do we do? Okay, we're going to focus on concentrated industry too here. And we're also going to modify our government just a little bit. We don't have any industrial focuses, and I think we should, especially since we unlocked IG Farben and a lot of these other units. So I'm going to see what's best. I like this a lot. This will actually increase our military factory construction speed. However, the infantry equipment producer is also something quite interesting. If you guys want to go ahead and give some suggestions down below, I'll allow you to do that. I think right now we can even get Porsche pretty awesome. Let's see. Focke-Wulf would give us some nice planes, but I'm unsure of who we want to go for right now. Maybe we should reserve our political power, or maybe even add somebody from our military high command. That's actually probably a good idea. So infantry charge would be pretty cool. Offensive barrage would also be pretty awesome. I think probably a defensive general would be good, because I don't actually plan to attack the French unless they attack us. Then again, infantry division attack. Infantry division attack 5. Infantry defense, Hans von Sicht. So this is who we're going to take. Oh, he's dead. That's right, Sicht is dead. He died. That's too bad. So we might have to focus on just the army reform, although our army is pretty well experienced. So I'm going to take Erich von Manstein over here, and he is going to be a new member of our military staff. Really, we don't have any military staff, so I'm thinking that that's probably a good idea. Missing equipment production, let's take a look. Light tank, yes, yes. Well, we're focused on heavy tanks right now. I'm not really concerned about the light tank, but let's take a look here. Okay, Panzerdivision. We'll edit this, yeah? And we put in some heavy tanks, perhaps, yeah? Or maybe we just create a new division designer. So this one is going to be a Panzerdivision, and we're going to be putting heavy tanks. Now the problem is, yeah, we're not going to be able to do this yet because our army experience is just far too low. We're not gaining a lot of army experience because most of our armies are pretty well skilled. At this point, I think the best thing to do is just wait, keep building this up, and hope for the absolute best in this respect. Anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying this Let's Play. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to keep on going, of course, and I always appreciate your comments down below. And oh my goodness, I just noticed the Reds have gone red. The Tsar has been overthrown, and now we have a totally new threat to the East, guys, the Soviet Republic. It's not even the Soviet Union, it is the Soviet Republic, led by the internationalists, Mikhail Tukhachevsky. Very interesting stuff, and let's see if he's just as nasty as Stalin. Either way, we've now got red threats all around us, guys. We need to be vigilant. Thanks for watching, take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.